Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the best cards in standard format to build your deck with. This is going to be, another word for that is staples. Staples are cards that are put in almost every single deck and can make every single deck better and more consistent and make it so your deck does what it wants to do more of the time or as much as possible. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. These are like search cards and things like that. So starting off with Quick Ball, which reads, you can play this card only if you discard another card from your hand. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this gives you search options for your basic Pokemon, such as basic evolving V Pokemon, tag teams, and other sport Pokemon that draw and search you cards. So not only evolving V Pokemon, but also Pokemon that are just going to evolve in general. Like almost, I'm pretty sure every single deck in standard format right now plays 4 copies of Quick Ball just because it's the card that you want to see almost every single game on the first turn of the game, every single game. So, because that just searches your basics, which is what you need to get almost every single deck up and rolling is the basics. So Quick Ball is a very important card. And also support Pokemon to draw and search your cards. That's going to be later on in the video. Next, we have Pokemon Communication, which reads, reveal a Pokemon from your hand and put it into your deck. And if you do, you also search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. So this allows you to do a swap. You get the Pokemon into your hand, basic or evolved, and swap it for another Pokemon in your deck, basic or evolved. So this gives consistent search to both evolved and basic Pokemon, and you can put Pokemon that you don't want to discard with the Professor's Research or the like into your deck. So this can allow you to save a Pokemon for later and then get out one that you need right now. Similarly to Quick Ball, it's also very nice for setting up. Next, we have Cherish Ball, which lets you search your deck for a Pokemon GX and put it into your hand. And this simply gives you search to your Pokemon GX, Basic, or Evolved. Because it doesn't say Basic Pokemon GX, it doesn't say Evolution Pokemon GX. It says Pokemon GX. It means you can search Tag Teams, which are Pokemon GX. You can search Basic Pokemon GX. You can search Ultra Beast GXs. You can search any GX with this card. It's not as widespread as Quick Ball and Pokemon Communication because those are not specific. This is specific to GXs, and most decks right now are focused around V Pokemon. But Cherish Ball in the right deck, nonetheless, is very good. Next, we have Switch, which is just switch your other Pokemon, one of your bench Pokemon. Allows you to fluently move your Pokemon around your board, put Pokemon out of harm's way, or bring a Pokemon that is in the active spot, or bring a Pokemon into the active spot once it's ready to attack. It also does not count as your own retreat for the turn and allows you to use attack set, so you can't use this attack next turn by moving to the bench and back again. This you cannot use attacks this turn is they're on cards, for example, like Zacian V. Brave Blade does 230 damage, and then it says this Pokemon can't use Brave Blade next turn. But a general rule for the game is that if a Pokemon moves from the active spot to the bench, all effects of attacks are removed, which means that effect of you can't use Brave Blade next turn gets removed. So that means if you're able to move to the bench, remove that effect, move to the bench, remove that effect, and then move back into the active, that will mean that you can use Brave Blade right after, even if you use Brave Blade the turn before that. So, which is a very, very good card. Most decks are playing 4 copies of it right now. Next, we have Scuba Net, which is put when your Pokemon isn't a Pokemon V or Pokemon GX into your hand, and you discard all attached cards. What this means is you can use it with single price support Pokemon. These are later on in the video. And those single price support Pokemon are Pokemon that can search your cards, and then since they're single price, which means but when your Pokemon is in Pokemon V or Pokemon GX, basically means single price Pokemon that aren't worth multiple prizes into your hand. That means Pokemon that you've used abilities, if you put into your hand, a lot of the abilities say that you can only use the ability on that Pokemon once a turn. But if you Scuba Net into your hand, put it back down, that effect gets removed, not only because it moved to the bench. Remember, moving to the bench is effects of attacks, not abilities. And Scuba Net just puts it into your hand, which means even if you put it down again, your opponent doesn't know if that is the same one or a different one, which means that you can use the ability again if you manage to get it back up into the active. So Scuba Net is a very good card, but it also is used in decks that have a walling effect, such as the Decidueye, prevents damage done to it by GX and V. And Scuba Net can be used to remove liabilities on your bench that can be used to be bosses ordered up and taken prize cards off of because your opponent can't hit that Decidueye. Scuba Net is a very, very nice card. You can use the multiple prize decks for, once again, those single prize support Pokemon. Next, we have Professor's Research, which is discard your hand, draw 7. It allows you to dig through your deck and find the cards you need to complete what you want to do that turn, or just discard unneeded cards too. So this is a card that I'm pretty sure almost every single deck plays 4 copies of it. Once again, very powerful. Discard, draw 7, and just lets you turn through your deck, get all the cards that you need out to get your attacks up and rolling. So you have Marnie, which is each player shovels their hand, puts on the bottom of their deck, and if either player puts any cards on the bottom of their deck in this way, you draw 4 cards and your opponent, or you draw 5 and your opponent draws 4. This means that not only can you get some new cards in your hand, it also allows you to disrupt your opponent at the same time, which means sometimes you can Marnie your opponent and they don't have any playable cards. It's called a dead hand. Sometimes you can Marnie your opponent to a dead hand, and that can allow you to pull ahead and take some prize cards before your opponent is ready, and that can ultimately lead you to winning the game. So Marnie is a very powerful card, not only just for this Marning your opponent to a dead hand, but also just disrupting what they're trying to do and make it harder for them to try and accomplish what they're trying to do in the game. Next, this is a multiple prize support Pokemon. This isn't a single prize. Can't use with Scuba Net because it is a Pokemon V, but this is mainly in most decks for Happy Match, which means when you play it from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you put a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. So it can act as a wild card supporter, but most of the time it's just used as a searchable boss's orders, which is, I'm sorry if I didn't explain this, but boss's orders is bring one of your opponent's bench Pokemon into the active spot. Yeah, I think that's it here. Boss's orders lets you bring one of your opponent's bench Pokemon into the active spot. This effect usually wins you the game. Usually you're playing a boss's order for the game. But Eldegoss, since it's searchable quick ball, because it's a basic Pokemon, and communication, because it is a Pokemon, that can lead to not only a searchable way to win the game ultimately, but a way to draw cards using Marnie or research. So Eldegoss is a very, very powerful card. And also the attack is colorless. Allows you to put it into your deck, which can be used in some matchups just to like keep yourself from decking out. But mostly float up is going to be very niche and you're almost never going to use it. Usually you're just going to keep it on your bench after you use that Happy Match. Next we have Dedenne GX. This is a big one. Dedenne GX, Dead Chain. You play it from your hand onto your bench, you discard your hand and draw 6 cards, but you can't use more than one Dead Chain ability each turn. This is a really big one. You can just, your hand's dead, you can quick ball for a Dedenne, and then Dead Chain. Attacks aren't that good, just 50 damage. The GX attack can come up to some situations as a desperation move as it paralyzes, but its attacks, you're almost never going to be using them. And then Dead Change is really, really good. It allows you to draw cards without using your one supporter card for the turn, and it is more aggressive draw than Crobat V, which we'll get to later on. It can be used in the same turn as Crobat V for maximum draw. Crobat V also draws you cards. So Dedenne GX is a very, very nice card, mainly just because it doesn't count as a supporter. Since we also have Crobat V, which reads, when you play it down in your hand onto your bench, draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand, and you can't use more than one dark asset. Not only can you discard your hand just 6, but you can also draw up until you have 6, in addition to your Marnie or research. So you have so much draw in Dedenne or Crobat. Moving on to Crobat, I already said what the ability does. The attack, once again, it's support Pokemon. Support Pokemon attacks aren't usually very good. 70 and poison, not very good, but it allows you to draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. And once again, it lets you draw cards without using one supporter card for the turn, and it allows you to keep things in your hand to use with the cards you draw, opposed to Dedenne, which just discards your hand. So you can keep like a supporter in your hand, you can Crobat, draw 5 cards, and then supporter. And it can be used in the same turn as a Dedenne for maximum draw once again. So these two combo very, very nicely. Next we have Celebi. Celebi, this is a new card coming out of Shining Fates. It has an ability, Woodland Stroll. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal an energy card you find there, and put it into your hand, and you shovel the other cards back in your deck. So this gives you a nice Pokemon to open up, and it can help you set up. It only gives you 1 prize when KO'd, which means it doesn't affect the prize range too much, especially if you're playing a multiple prize deck. And it allows you to use it for as long as possible before going in with your setup main Pokemon, because that can get you energy to help you set up your main guy, and then go into your main guy. By using Scuba Net and Switch, you can use the ability multiple times a turn. So since it isn't a Pokemon V or Pokemon GX, it means you can use that combo like I mentioned earlier. Moving to Celebi, put something else up, eventually Celebi again, and then switch back into it, use that Woodland Scroll ability once again. Nafi is very much like Celebi. It is once during your turn, this Pokemon is in the active spot. You may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal a Pokemon, not energy, so a little bit different, and you find there and put it into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. So, like Celebi, it's a Pokemon to leave in the active to help you set up. Unlike Celebi, Nafi searches Pokemon, which means it can not only search out your main Pokemon, like a Quick Ball can search out your basic guys, but it can also get out draw Pokemon like the Dene and Crobat. And once again, it's not a Pokemon View Pokemon GX, which means you can use it over and over with Scoop. So you can like Ocean Search, maybe find, I'm just gonna maybe find your Centiskorch, and then you use Net, put it into your hand, put up, say that Centiskorch, bench it again, play a switch, and then Ocean Search find a Dedenne. Get that Dedenne, bench it, discard, draw 6. So Nafi is very, very powerful, maybe even more powerful than Celebi, just because Pokemon are generally better than energy in a lot of situations, just because you can play less of them. But Nafi, nonetheless, is a very good card. Next, we have Jirachi, or Amazing Rare Jirachi. There's actually 2 different Jirachi cards that are very, very good for helping you set up. And its ability, Dreamy Revelation. Once in your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand, and then put the other card back on top of your deck. So, Pokemon that can easily be pivoted in and out of the active because it has 1 retreat cost. Same with the Manaphy and the Celebi, they have 1 retreat costs, which means, wrong Jirachi, which means that you can use Air Balloon, you can just attach retreat, and U-turn board. Air Balloon and U-turn board are different cards. They're not actually in this list because they're just there to help you retreat. Nothing too good about them. They are good cards, but they're not. I don't think they're as staple cards as the ones in this list. So this can just be easily be pivoted in and out, and can help you draw a couple more cards. And the ability can also be used multiple times in a turn with Scuba Net. So not only can you do Dreamy Revelation for 2 cards, you can sometimes Dreamy Revelation and see 3 cards, or Dreamy Revelation and see 4 cards. You don't also have to use Scuba Net and switch. You can also Scuba Net, put up another one, and then a second one, and use Dreamy Revelation. So in the attack, it's really awkward. It searches for 7 basic, but do not be deceived. It's really, really hard to pull off. So Racing Star, not usually going to be the attack you're going to be using. Usually going to be using the ability Dreamy Revelation. Now, this is the big one. Sky Stellar Wish Jirachi has been around since Team Up. It's been a staple in decks for forever, it seems. But Stellar Wish is like the Manaphy and Celebi. Lets you, once in your turn, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, so not 6, 5, and reveal a trainer card you find there and put it to your hand. Now, unlike Manaphy and Celebi, it goes to sleep, which means you can't retreat it, which means you're going to have to find a way to switch it instead of retreat it directly. So, Stellar Wish, it's a very, very powerful ability. It can be reused with Switch and Scuba Net, which is how most decks play. Most decks play 4 of this Jirachi, 4 Scuba Net and 4 Switch, just so you can get maximum Stellar Wishes. But it can get you valuable trainer cards that you need when you need them, such as Quick Ball and Boss's Orders. And then the most popular to use with Switch and Scuba Net. So, Stellar Wish is very, very powerful. It gets you your Quick Balls to draw you cards potentially with the support Pokemon. It gets you a supporter with Research and Marnie to draw you card. Get you Quick Ball just to find your main Pokemon. It can get you a Quick Ball to get a Celebi. That Celebi can get you energy. So very, very versatile ability. And the final one is Capture Energy, which reads, as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides colorless energy. But when you attach this card from your hand to a Pokemon, you can search your deck for another basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. So this finds your basic Pokemon to set up and counts as an energy at the same time. But an important note, the basic Pokemon goes directly into your bench. It doesn't say and put it into your hand, it says and put it onto your bench. Which means you can't get the Dene GX or Crobat V and use their ability, because their abilities only activate when placed onto the bench from your hand. So that's very, very important. A mistake that a lot of newer people to the card make, that it goes directly into your bench, not into your hand, which means you can't get the Dene, unfortunately. If you got the Dene, this card would be very, very good. Not every deck will play this once again. Some of them don't have colorless. Some of them don't want to play colorless. Some of them don't want to play this because it's special energy and they can't accelerate special energy. But in a deck that can play it is a very powerful card. And finally, here is a fill in the blanks deck list. This is a deck list of most of the stable cards that we looked at in this video, and like the Dene, Eldegoss, Crobat, Jirachi, both the Jirachis, Communication, Quick Ball 2, and that Switch. You can see the 3-4-4 Jirachi Stellar Wish, 2 and that Switch combo, 2 Boss, 3 Marnie, 4 Research, 1 Capture. And that's 28 flex spots. That means 28 places to put in unique trainer cards unique to your deck. Maybe you want to bump up the count of Communication. Maybe you want to add some Great Balls. And to add your energy of choice and your Pokemon, that's going to define the deck. So, yeah, that is the deck. That is the video. To round everything out, again, we have Quick Ball, search basics, Communication to search anything, Search Ball to search PXs, Switch to switch your Pokemon, Lunet to use abilities, and switch your Pokemon, Research to get a big new hand, Wanting to disrupt and get some new cards, Eldegoss to get back Pokemon, the Dene to draw cards that isn't with the supporter, Crobat to also draw cards that isn't the supporter, Celebi to grab your energy, and Navi to grab your Pokemon, Jirachi to just grab any card, other Jirachi to grab trainer cards, and Capture Energy to grab your Pokemon. So that is going to be the video. If you guys like it, make sure to like the video, subscribe. I do normally I've been doing a whole bunch of deck lists and stuff. Today I decided to do something different, and yeah, that is going to be it. And I will see you guys in the next video.